Hello everyone, you're watching SK Live. I'm your host Indranil Basu. Today we have Mr. Karsan Ghavri, the former India cricketer. Sir, such a pleasure hosting you. I remember last time we had a little chat. It was disrupted because of the internet wasn't good, and it's such a pleasure, having you on the show.
Lovely, Inder. It was lovely talking to you always, and you are a very charming guy like Devanand, man.
But Devanand had hair. I don't have hair. So that's the only thing.
No, that's all right. Even the
Yeah,
later stage of his life, even
yeah.
Devanand used to wear wig. I mean he never had the original hair. What he used to have in 50s, 60s, and 70s.
Yeah. He was your good friend, wasn't he?
Well, yeah, I mean, I knew him very well. Yes.
So, and Bollywood and cricket always had that connect, isn't it, sir?
It's
From
a
early,
it's a hand in glove.
yeah, it's hand in glove, absolutely. So, and the connect we have right now in Australia, and you always performed well against that opposition called Australia. So, I mean, your reflection, your thoughts on that Sydney Test match, which was a drawn Test match, but what excitement, what exuberance, what youthful energy, uh, what a Test match for India, isn't it?
Well, to me personally, I think it was one of the best Test match I have seen in last 10 years.
Wow.
You know, it was so exciting, and it was so touch and go. At one time when Pujara and Rishabh Pant were batting,
Yeah,
I thought India will make it. Will win
yeah,
the way they were going.
yeah,
But Rishabh Pant, after scoring such a brilliant, 97,
yeah.
he got out. He got out very stupidly, and then very soon, Pujara fell. His wicket fell, and then like the way Ashwin and Vihari played, it was so remarkable to played out 40 odd overs
Yeah.
and stay there against this best of the Australian fast attack. I mean,
Yes.
they are because they don't give you any rooms. I mean, they are at you at every delivery, irrespective whether it's a good length ball or the length ball or a bouncer. But they are at you every delivery, and to survive 40 overs, it is absolutely remarkable.
You followed the match on TV? I mean, did
Yes,
you
I
get up?
did. I did watch the entire thing,
Yeah.
and as I've just said earlier, when Pujara and Pant were batting, I thought India will win because we had all the chances. If the same pair had stayed back for half an hour, 40 minutes, we would have made it. But unfortunately, the great uncertainty of this game, you know, Pant got out, Pujara got out. Then the drawback with the Indian batting lineup was it was only Ashwin and Vihari, and
Yeah.
after that,
Yeah.
Jadeja was totally unfit. I mean, even if he was needed, he could have batted with one hand,
Yeah.
definitely. But the like Shiraz and the other fast bowlers, for them it was very difficult to survive on the pitch because the attack the Australia has, they will not allow, like I'm just going through the reports
Mm.
in the newspaper. Sunil Gavaskar just mentioned that any other captain of any country would have not allowed India to bat out 41 or 42 or whatever the 40 odd overs.
Yeah. No, it was really remarkable, and look at the way it came back. So we're talking about the 70s and the 80s when you played for India, and when you played against Australia. Uh, you know, that Indian team in 80s, early 80s, and this Indian team. So do you find any similarity, any difference? Uh, Cricket
There
has
is,
changed a
there is
lot.
no, there is no similarity. There is, I mean, you cannot compare, the 80 team and 2021 team or 2020 team,
Yeah.
because uh, it's a it's a matter of 4 decades.
Yes. 40
No,
years.
there are a lot of changes. There are a
Yeah.
lot of changes in their approach. There are a lot of changes in their professional ways. Uh, you know, and each individual, they know their role to play. And you know when it has been asked to play your role,
Yeah.
in Sydney Test match, each one of them, they showed, like, including Rohit Sharma, Ajinkya Rane, Cheteshwar Pujara, Pant, Vihari, uh, Ashwin, and the bowlers. They all showed the characters. They
Absolutely.
knew what exactly they were supposed to do. But see, 40 years ago, it was totally different. I mean, we used to have some kind of a plan, earlier. But today, for everything, every individual, the sessions or whatever, there are plans. Plan A fails, you fall into the plan B.
Yeah.
If B falls, you get into the plan C.
Hmm.
So I mean, there are a lot of strategies. There are a lot of game plan, and it's uh, it's definitely more and more professional. And now, over the years, India's reputation is such,
Yeah.
in irrespective whether it's a 2020 or a
Yeah.
50-over game or a test match.
Yeah.
India, I mean, uh, India team is such, they can perform well anywhere in the world. I mean, all cricketing countries.
No, but the basic nature of Test cricket hasn't changed in last 40, 50 years. You have to survive. You have to go there, do your job. That hasn't changed, isn't it, sir?
No, no. I mean, you see, boss, cricket remains the same.
Yes.
Maybe here and there, a rule
Yeah.
changes. You know, uh, players' attitude and everything changes, but the game remains the same. There are many decorums. It has to be the observed, and it has to be established. Like a lot of sledging is going on in Australia, especially in Sydney.
Yeah.
This kind of the unfair tactics
Yeah.
is not going to help the game, and it really disrupt the game. Some stages.
Yeah.
So play the fair game, play hard fought games, but it has to be fair.
Yeah, absolutely. And God is also great in a way. The way we lost the first Test match in Adelaide, came back strongly in Melbourne, and fought so hard in Sydney. So, what was your thought process when you saw the way we lost the opening Test match? Did you ever think that Indian team is going to, without Virat Kohli, coming to these three Test matches, they'll be able to? Then people talked about 4-0, whitewash and things like that. So, what was your thought? What was your thought that time?
They boss, coming back, from Adelaide Test match, we lost, the entire team, for 36 runs, and to come back in the next Test match at Melbourne uh, and win was, I mean, it is not a miracle, but it was even more than a miracle. And the way our guys perform in Melbourne, it was absolutely remarkable. And the the credit really goes to them for their sheer determination, their
Yeah,
sheer hard work, their
yeah,
sheer believing in themselves as a team, as an
Yeah.
individual, and they are playing
Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear
yeah, I
me?
can.
Yeah, yeah. I think you got
Yeah, go
some.
ahead.
Yeah. No, I was, I mean, you're talking about the self belief. You're talking about how remarkable that comeback was, and it's more than a miracle.
Yeah, I
So,
mean,
and
see, to losing a test match with a very very low score in Adelaide,
yeah,
and to come back at Melbourne
yeah,
and winning the test match, it
yeah,
is. I mean, the credit really goes to the player, the team, and
absolutely.
the people are so happy that the Indian cricket team
Yeah,
fight so hard, tooth and
yeah,
nail in Australia,
yeah.
and uh, it's not going to be so different in the last Test match at Brisbane, and it's going to be a tough a Test match, of course, but the greatest the drawback with the India team right now is the injuries.
Yes,
We don't have the required players who could fill the 11. They are not available. So whatever the best available players we have in Australia, we have to play with them. We have to fight it very hard and uh, not survive for a draw. But if we play with the very positive attitude,
yeah,
uh, you never know. It's this the game of cricket. It's all uncertainty. If we play with the conviction, with the positive mind, and if we win, I think it'll be a great series.
absolutely. And in a team which has no Mohammad Shami, no Virat Kohli, no Jadeja, uh, there is a little question mark on Bumrah. He's not ruled out. Otherwise, BCCI would have given a press release
Yes,
that Bumrah is
yes.
ruled out from
I
the
mean,
match.
like Vihari is out. Umesh
Vihari is
Yadav,
out.
uh, Sami is out. I
Yeah,
mean, half of our team is out. Inder,
yeah,
just stay on. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. You got it.
yeah, yeah. So half the team is out. You're saying?
So half the player who could fill in final 11, for Brisbane Test match, at Gabba.
Yeah,
But unfortunately, it will not happen. And whatever the best players we have available in the
yeah,
team, I
yeah.
hope they do the job. And it is so unfortunate that it is not that we are playing with the second best string team, or India A team or something like that. But even our reserve force on the fringe players, they are all capable of delivering the goods, provided, I mean, if they get an opportunity, they have to prove themselves.
Absolutely, and that's been the hallmark of this team. Every even the regular captain goes out. Uh, Ajinkya Rahane comes and leads the side from the front. Leading by example, scores 100 in Melbourne. But this is the strength of this side. You're not dependent on individual. It's a team. The core team is so strong, and anyone goes out, someone else will come and do the job. And that's been the hallmark of this team, isn't it, sir? Hmm.
In Indian cricket, overall,
Yeah.
the pipeline, the pipeline is so big.
Yes.
The supply line is so big. It is not
Yeah.
only the test match level or a one day level or 2020 level. It starts, from the under 16.
Yes.
The youth cricket, junior cricket. In the way BCCI has, established the structure in India, No other country has done it
Yes, yes, yes.
in the
Absolutely.
world of cricket.
Yeah,
And in India, the supply line will never stop. At any stage or any grade, irrespective whether it's a Mustaq Ali Trophy or Ranji Trophy or Dulip Trophy or any trophy. Uh, Forget about the 2020 or 50-over game or a Test match. Indian cricket, the supply line will be on all the time because of our great structure. They will produce, the bowlers or batsmen, are great, fast bowlers. I mean, today nobody had, expected or imagined India has five, six quality fast bowlers,
absolutely.
and we have the choice, of whom to pick.
Yeah,
Earlier days, we hardly had one or two maximum.
yes,
And even before that, we never had fast bowlers.
yeah.
You know, you can imagine like Sunil Gavaskar opening with a new ball, or Solkar was okay. Eknath Solkar was okay. The run-up was like Michael Holding, but
Okay.
at the delivery point, he used to just release the ball, and that's fine. But उस वक्त क्या होता था कि बॉल को गेंद को पुराना करना है. And
Yeah,
then, of course, we had the best of the spinners in the world at that time, like
yeah.
Bishan Bedi, Prasanna, Chandrasekhar, Venkatraghavan. So, and we had very little resources at that time. But today we have got everything ready, irrespective whether it's a wicket keeper or a spinner, off spinner or leg spinner, or a fast bowler or a batsman. So, the Indian cricket will not look back, for in years to come.
Absolutely. So you also bowled a little bit of spin. I mean, despite being a fast bowler, you also bowled a little. Was it out of your own choice, or was it the captain telling you to do it? How was it those days? I mean, you had so many
Uh,
wonderful spinners in your lineup those days.
See, basically, before I started, bowling with a new ball, I was
Yeah.
a left-arm spin bowler,
Okay. So
and
that was always there. That the spin
yeah,
was always
once some kind of the natural art or a god gifted art in you, you cannot forget. Like there are many things I cannot mention right now, but uh, the natural god gifted things cannot go away from your body. But
there. Absolutely.
since I was playing for India, and we had the best of spinner in Bishan Bedi as a
Yeah.
left arm spinner. So I got hardly any opportunity to bowl, but a couple of times I did, and both the times I picked up wickets.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
You guys also had Dilip Doshi, was also a great left arm spinner.
Dilip Doshi came in a little later,
Little later,
but
yes. After.
right from 74, 75 series, Dilip
Yes.
Doshi came in 78, 79.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, those years, like Bishan Bedi, Prasanna, Chandra, Venkat, they were all there. And then later on, Dilip Doshi, Shivlal Yadav, these guys came in.
I mean, who would forget that 1981 Test match against Australia in Adelaide when you set up the win, taking those two back-to-back wickets, and then that was quite a special performance. You getting Greg Chappell out on the first ball of the Test match.
Yes. Well, there, in 80, 81,
Yeah,
that particular wicket at Melbourne, it was a very difficult wicket to score on the fourth inning
yeah,
because there were so many big cracks
yeah,
on the pitch,
yeah.
and uh, it was so unpredictable wicket,
Yeah.
and that wicket was like a unpredictable woman.
Okay.
Uh, which way it will go, nobody knew.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so uh, like on the fourth day,
Yeah.
we picked up 3 wickets. Like I got 2 wickets in John Dyson and
Yeah.
Greg, and
Yes.
Dilip
Yeah.
Doshi got one wicket, and they were 18 for 3 on the fourth day.
Yeah.
And Kapil was not on the field on the fourth day
Okay.
because of the injury and all that. On the
Yeah.
fifth day, he got some painkiller injections and all that. He
And
came
he ran.
onto the field and he
Wow.
ran the side. He and Dilip
Yeah.
Doshi ran
Yeah.
through the side. I didn't even get a one over to ball on the fifth day. So no, but I'm not bothered.
Yeah.
As long as India wins,
Yeah.
and Australia were not chasing a big target. 140 odd runs, and we got them out for 82 or 83 runs. I mean, and that was the first time ever India squared the series in
Yes.
Australia.
Yes.
That was remarkable, really, and
Absolutely remarkable. Yes.
we'll
Prior to
always
that,
cherish those moments forever.
absolutely. And prior to that, in 77, 78, we lost the series by 3-2 margin. There also we fought well.
Well, again in '77 series, it was a very interesting series because first 2 test matches
They won.
Australia had won.
Yes.
Third and fourth we won,
Yes.
and
And
the
the
fifth
decider was,
fifth one at Adelaide, it was a decider.
yes.
And in fact, that match also uh, uh, we lost very very closely actually,
Very closely, actually.
very
Yeah. You
closely.
took seven wickets in that test match. 4 and 3 in both the innings.
Well, I don't know the statistic and all that,
Yeah.
but if I've done it, it's fine. But I wish we had won the match.
Yes, yes, those were the golden days. And you also, I mean, there is a little worry with the Indian team right now because moment our lower middle order is over, the tail starts wagging too soon because of the number of bowlers we have on our side. Uh, so
Ah,
I often wonder. I mean, you were also a bowler and who could bat. Your best score came against Australia in Mumbai, a score of 86. What do you tell these bowlers? I mean, don't you think the Shiraj and the Sainis they should also go out there and bat, and how one should bat, and what is your tips to them? Because you also batted lower down the order for India whenever you played for India.
see,
So what
Inder,
is your suggestion to them?
I I don't think they're required to be advised all the time.
Yeah,
We have a very able coaches like head coaches Ravi Shastri. We have some senior players. We have so many other the working staff.
yeah,
But more than that, every individual, each of them, they know their role to play. You
yeah,
know, situationally, if this situation arise, even number 11 batsman can stop there and and guard the fort
yeah,
and take care of it.
yeah,
And if the runs are required, as many as they can,
yeah.
they have to stop there. They cannot just throw away the wickets.
Absolutely.
This is in this era, uh, the cricket is totally different. Their approach is totally different, and I'm very sure it is not only with the Indian batsmen, even the guys from the Australian or West Indies or England or New Zealand or South Africa. I mean, all 11 players has to contribute, in some way or the other. It is not your forte. Like if you are a bowler,
Yeah,
you pick up 4 or 5 wickets, your job is done. No, you have to contribute in fielding, you, if required, uh, to score 10 or 15, 20 runs as a batsman, you should be able to do that.
Absolutely, and that's what is going to be key because uh, other day when we were a little worried what would happen if Ashwin or Vihari would get out, who would come in, and that was a good energy being given by Jadeja. Despite being injured, he wore his pads. He could not even peel a banana. He was sitting there, and he gave that impression, that sort of energy, that sort of excitement to the guys in the middle that I'm there. If you're not able to do it, I'll go and do the job. So
See,
Jadeja has
that
come out.
that
So
is
I'm
the
saying, yeah,
that's the attitude. Like if as I said it earlier, if Ravindra Jadeja was to go in to bat, he would
yeah,
have done it with
yeah,
one hand. He would
yes,
have done because the team's morale, team's attitude is totally different. Today, if it is required, it's like a war, man. You can't back out.
you can't back out. You can't back out at all. And sir, I'm talking about war, talking about brave hearts. I mean, Jadeja has become quite a player and someone who's always done well for his state also. And you have looked after Saurashtra for such a long time. Last time they won the Ranji Trophy, you were the head coach there. You're still looking after the team in a
My
consulting role.
Not this year.
Not this
Uh,
year. Okay.
no,
So
last last
last
season was my last season.
okay, you didn't take it up again. They must have
No,
approached you.
yes, they did, of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but tell me about Jadeja, sir. I mean, the way it's become quite
Yeah,
a
but
handy.
Ravindra Jadeja is such a great, utility cricketer.
Yeah,
Uh, he can get you a couple of very, very important, breakthrough. As a bowler, he's so accurate. His line in length is absolutely immaculate, and when it requires to, for him to score runs, he can come out, with a good answer, and more than anything else, irrespective whether he picks up the wickets or it doesn't score runs,
yeah.
but he can save at least 25, 30 runs on the field as a fielder. You know, I think right now in the Indian squad,
Yeah,
we have the best fielder in
easily,
Ravindra Jadeja.
easily. But the thing is about this Indian team is also about Cheteshwar Pujara. A lot has been said about his slow batting, but this is what is required. You have to play according to the situation. Pujara has always showcased that, and Pujara is what Pujara is because of the sort of contribution you have behind Pujara becoming Pujara. So can you just tell us that story?
No, it's see, Pujara is a very, very determined cricketer. He's run hungry, and he always wants to do well, for the team and for
Yeah,
himself, of
yeah,
course.
yeah,
But uh, like his wicket is like Rahul Dravid's wickets. It's a prize wicket.
yeah,
There is a price tag, when you get such player out,
yeah.
and it's it's uh, it's hard to dislodge, this kind of a batsmen. And Pujara is not different. He is one of them. And uh, what can I say? I mean, like he's after Rahul Dravid left, he's the wall of India.
He's the wall of India. Actually, I mean, does he? You know him. You talk to him quite often. Does he get disturbed when people talk about the way he bats, the way
Oh
he
no, no,
takes his time?
he doesn't. He doesn't. He doesn't at all. I mean, he knows what he's supposed to do. He does exactly the same. He doesn't listen to any comments or any whether it's a good one or a bad one or the ugly one. It doesn't really affect him. And once he crosses the boundary line as a batsman, I mean, his game plan changes. Like he knows what he's supposed to do. And once in the middle, he's totally a different player individually, and he has got to be left alone.
And so when we go to, we are in Gaba right now. The Indian team is in Gaba, so it's going to be a huge role he has to play when we take on Australia in the fourth Test match. So how do you see Pujara shaping up? He's got some runs
Well,
in the Sydney Test.
you know, Brisbane Test match is very very important. For all of us and for the series, because we have a uh, very few resources. So the Indian, the batting lineup, batting order, first five batsmen, right from like Rohit Sharma, Subnam Gill, Ajinkya Rahane, Cheteshwar Pujara, uh, and down the line, five or six batsmen in the beginning when India is batting, they have to put up a really good score, because you don't expect like there is no Jadeja, there is no other all rounder. I don't know about Ashwin whether he'll be fit or not for the Brisbane Test match. But first five batsmen, if they put up around 300 runs
Yeah,
uh, to start with, or
yeah,
anything over 300 is
yeah,
always a plus. So
absolutely.
we required a really good, maybe two good partnerships.
Two good partnerships. Yeah, that's what
You know,
it's going to be the key.
in a last Test match, we had
Yeah,
a great opening partnership, between
yeah,
Subnam Gill and Rohit Sharma.
mm,
Uh, what I was going through the statistic or the records in
mm,
last 15 or 20 innings, India has
mm,
never scored first matlab, opening partnership more
yes,
less than 50 runs, and
yeah,
we had 70-run partnership. So
absolutely.
this kind of partnerships are required.
Absolutely, and that's what we need. We need the opening partnership. We need the middle order to fire. So, but fact that we lost two toss. I mean, in the last two Test matches that we played in Melbourne and Sydney, we lost both the toss. I mean, and Australia were batting. It's also the way they fought. The Indian team didn't bother whether they're all ready, match ready, whether they have to bat first, bowl first. So that's despite not having the best of players in the team. So that was really that's really refreshing also. They are not bothered. Toss is just
Well,
taking the out of the equation.
spinning the coin,
Yes.
toss it's it's uh, it's nobody's hand.
Yeah.
Only your thumb can do it in a second. And see, both the captain doesn't know, the match referee doesn't know, the umpire doesn't know. I mean, whoever wins, and whatever the best where they feel that
Yeah.
wicket is going to be very conducive or very productive wicket for our bowler, they
Yeah.
will really choose to
Yeah. So and talking about the captains losing toss, we had the Australian captain who was really vocal in the last Test match in the fourth innings when India were trying to save that Test match, and they were sledging a lot, but Indians also were gave a fitting reply, decided to hang in there, decided to draw the Test match in grand style. But
yeah,
was it there during your time also? Did the Australians sledge a lot during in 80s?
every delivery,
Yeah.
every ball,
Yeah.
every ball, whether you played a very defensive shot, or you hit for 1 run or a 4 run, or you
Yeah.
leave the ball, or if it hits the pads or anything. I mean, one gali is always there. So I mean, that's the way the Australian plays cricket, and it's part of their nature. It's a
So,
part
but
of their game plan.
yeah, but did we give them back in 80s whenever
Yeah,
they tried?
we did. Yeah, yeah, we did. I mean, that's the time it all started. Like if you remember, in 1980-81, when Sunil Gavaskar dragged, Chetan Chauhan at Melbourne, and he was very vocal, like, Kapil Dev, myself, when we used to get wickets or, beating the batsmen. So here, but not like today. A little bit of mouthing was there, yes.
Okay, okay, that was. So we also got reports saying it appeared in different versions. We got that Indian team didn't get a good reception when they reached the hotel. There was no one. There was no room service. There were a lot of
Oh, yeah.
hiccups.
I read in Times of India,
Yeah,
the way they've been treated in Brisbane,
yeah,
I think it is pathetic. I mean, for food, they can't go down, they can't use the restaurant, they cannot go out of the hotel, they cannot use any facilities, they cannot even use the lift.
yeah.
And
I mean,
food, their food is just served in the corridor.
yeah,
There are no room service. There are no room service available. They have
yeah.
to change their own, the blankets and bed sheets and clean the bathrooms. You know, it's a bad news. It's a pathetic.
I mean, a national team, they should at least have enough people to look after these facilities, isn't it, sir?
Well, the entire Queensland, they are moving out, freely.
Yeah,
Why not Indian players? They have had enough time in quarantine.
yeah.
You know, uh, but still, they are not allowed to go out, which is a bad news.
So do you think it's sort of a mind game to intimidate the Indians so that they come under pressure? They've been doing well
Of
despite
course,
all.
I mean, Australia, you know, they want to win
Yeah,
by hook or crooks.
yeah,
They are very bad losers,
yeah,
and I mean, this pandemic and Corona and all these things, it's a different thing altogether. But what happens on the cricket ground, it is their part of their strategy. It is a part of their game plan. So uh, it will never stop. It will go on. But if not this way, they will find some other ways.
but when you beat Australia in Australia, were they always that this kind of, like as you said, bad losers on the field?
Oh yes, oh yes. They
Yeah,
they can't take it in their stride
yeah,
if they lose. They they are terribly bad losers.
absolutely. And this is what it's showing. Also, they were extremely frustrated the way we were batting on the fifth day in the
Yeah.
fourth innings. They were extremely frustrated, all of them.
Yes. But
So,
anyway,
sir,
it was a really a well fought test match at Sydney, and we are all proud of our Indian cricketers who are doing a great job, and they're playing well. I mean, nobody has thought earlier. A lot of experts from Australia and many other countries like England and all that they said it'll
yeah.
be a whitewash, a 4-0. Now all those mouths are shut.
No, we hope we come back strong and we win this test series. This is a
Well, I'm
decider.
sure
Similar
we
situation, what we had faced in 78, 77, 78. It was a
yeah,
decider again, which we lost in Adelaide. This time, hopefully, we'll win. We'll win with a bang.
yeah. We come back with the Gavaskar Border Trophy.
Yes, we need that trophy at any cost. Also, so on that note, it was really pleasure chatting with you, and thanks a lot for coming on
Eh,
SK.
After such a long time, this
Yes,
is the entire the interview has been completed without any disturbance.
absolutely. We can't control disturbances, can we? But
And
what we can do, we keep trying.
wish you all the very best and
Thank you,
wish
sir.
the Indian cricket team the best of luck. Yeah.
Absolutely. Best of luck to Team India and do well. Thank you, sir, for coming on SK
Yes,
Line. Thank you, sir.
yes,
Good day, sir.
buddy.
Bye.